All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Black History Month, and thank you for joining our Buy Black platform demo. My name is Alicia Gay, Program Manager with USBC's Community Economic Development Corporation. And we're pretty much responsible for giving you what you need to help your business pivot and thrive throughout the pandemic and beyond. Before we start, I know we're waiting for some people to join us. Please drop your virtual business card in the chat and let us know who you are, what business you represent, maybe what industry you're in, where you're located. Also feel free to add your website URL or social media links. We like to start off just for creating a sense of community. You know, it only takes a second to click on somebody's website, give them some traffic, give them additional follows. It's all about creating a Black business community over here at USBC. So let me see what we have so far. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Kelly. Hi, Miss Linda. Miss Lisa. I see some familiar names in here. Thank you again for joining us. All right. Miss Daphne, hello. All right. We have Chris in the house, Daphne in the house, Miss Linda in the house. Thank you all for joining. Hi, Paris. And we'll get started in just a second. It's still climbing. Okay, Oakland in the house. Last year, our Oakland Chamber of Commerce, under the leadership of Miss Kathy Adams, won our Chamber of the Year. So thank you for joining us. All right. So if you're just joining us, please do us a favor and drop your name and business information in the chat. We'd love to connect with you at the end of our session. As a reminder, this session will be recorded. Please feel free to engage with us at any time during the chat or use the Q&A feature to ask any questions you may have. At the end of the session, we will be providing you all with some information on upcoming events, as well as some opportunities, so please be sure to stay tuned. I am thrilled to introduce one of the brains behind the operation of Buy Black, Mr. Ron Busby Jr. He is the program manager over at the Buy Black team. So hi, Ron.
Hi, everybody. Really excited to talk about this and just get a chance to share what we're working on and hopefully learn a little bit about your all perspective once we've gotten a chance to kind of demo what we're doing here.
Yeah, so Ron, again, thank you so much for joining us and for your innovation. If you could just quickly tell us a little bit about yourself and what does it mean to Buy Black?
Yeah, so for me, I'm a program manager, product manager on Buy Black. So I work on all of the sort of product experiences that you'll see on there. So things from the search experience that we're developing to the onboard experience to the certification that we'll get a chance to talk about a little bit today as well. So from the entire beginning stages of, hey, what is an idea that we want to work on and what does it mean to actually provide value propositions, and ultimately working with USBC to really bring that into reality is what I usually do. When we talk about what it means to sort of Buy Black, it does have that homonym, right? It sounds like B-U-Y, Black, but what does it mean for us when we talk about Buy Black? The B-Y really is about this idea of authorship, ownership, right? This is hosted by the United States Black Chamber. Your business is run by you. What does it mean for our companies, for our communities, for our products to be developed, run, and really championed by Black folks? And so we wanted to step outside of just the idea of, how does money move from one person to another? But when we put, a byline behind something, next to something, it really does sort of provide authorship. It provides the ability for us to really recognize the people and the humanity of the folks that are doing something there. And so I'm excited about really kind of hopefully shifting it from just talking about buying Black to what does it mean to have a community, built and developed and a product like this by Black folks. You're on mute, Alicia.
Sorry. Absolutely. So Tiandra, if we can move to the next slide and we can talk about, our development our promise and how Buy Black serves as a new solution.
Yeah, and when we talk about this, and we talk about our promise and our solution, I think we really think that it's important that we both open up as many opportunities for Black folks and democratize access. And when we say democratize access, that means things like, hey, like making these kinds of things free, right? What is the opportunity to say, hey, look, we want to make sure that Black folks have access to education, opportunities, resources, certifications, networking that is really substantive and moves the needle for your business and your bottom line. It's not enough to just have a social media page. We really want to say, hey, what does it mean to actually provide value that really drives opportunities? And so we talk about that. I think we're going to do that hopefully through a few distinct actions. One is talking about onboarding your business. Two is certifying that business and the value proposition that comes with being certified. I can give some perspective. I know Alicia can, and I'm excited about being able to talk about that. I think we're going to talk about a little kind of the concept of connecting that diverse universe of Black business, right? I saw someone in here sells mannequins, right? That is a whole business I didn't even know existed. But the fact that we have that, and we have it in our community, is demonstrative of the fact that Black business is truly not one and the same, right? My business is not the same as your business, is not the same as anybody else here that's going to be able to talk about this and really champion what we're doing. They all have different kind of users, they all have different consumers, and I think that's really exciting. And then what does it mean to develop a platform and not just a directory? So what does it mean to be found, and what does it mean to find what you're looking for? So yeah, I think on this part, what does it mean to start onboarding your business today? I can actually walk through a little bit of that, of how to sort of walk through actually signing up and onboarding your business at buyblack.us today. So what I'm going to do is actually, walk through and let me know, Alicia, if I'm doing this correctly. I can go ahead and, start onboarding a business and show folks how to go through that.
But first, if you don't mind, I'd love to introduce, we do have two special guest business owners, Miss Nantale and DaJuan. So Miss Nantale, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Yep, I can hear you.
Hello, lady. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. So happy to be here.
No, thank you for joining us. So please tell us a little bit about your business, how you stumbled upon Buy Black, and how do you see Buy Black, and how has it affected and influenced your business?
Sure. My name is Nantale Muwonge. I'm the founder of Black Girl PR. I am a PR and digital marketing consulting firm that works exclusively with Black women-owned brands to help them boost their online presence. I found Buy Black when I was looking up Black business directories, because I know that if we put ourselves in Black business directories, which is where our consumers are going to find us, and also just conscious consumers, people who want to buy Black and spend money in the Black community, I know that it can help us boost our presence. And that's how I found Buy Black. And I think it's a really spectacular platform. I found creating my listing absolutely seamless. I'm excited about being able to have my business certified, so that people know that when they're spending money with me, they are truly investing in the community. And I'm excited to be able to connect with other Black business owners and to network. When I need a tax guy, I need a lawyer, I found my graphic designer on Buy Black. And by the way, I got my first lead from Buy Black last night. So I've started getting people coming in from finding me on the platform. So I'm just excited about it and excited to be here. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you for sharing.
Super humbling. Thank you. Yeah.
And then we do have Mr. DaJuan Pitts. He is the owner of DHarveyPitts LLC and DHarveyPitts Cleaning. So DaJuan, you with us?
Yeah, hey, how you guys doing today?
Hey, please tell us about yourself, about your company, and how you came upon our Buy Black platform.
So my name is DaJuan Pitts. I'm a serial entrepreneur here in Washington, D.C. area. I'm the owner of DHarveyPitts Cleaning and DHarveyPitts LLC. So DHarveyPitts Cleaning is a commercial and residential cleaning business. My motto is "We clean, you move." We specialize in move in and move out cleaning, turnover cleaning. I found Buy Black on Instagram by hashtags, but I would say definitely in the last year, I have how many calls I've gotten from people saying, "Hey, are you a Black business?" So And, you know, different other platforms might have minority owned business or different things, but nothing says like, hey, you're Black. You know, this is owned by specifically a Black person. And buying Black means, I mean, I feel like this is such a great time for all Black entrepreneurs. And to be identified as a Black entrepreneur means so much, because even if you're even if you're considered a minority is anybody, you know, that's just not white. So just knowing, and I feel like I love the Buy Black platform, and I actually have, just like Miss Nantale, I've got a lead literally from someone this morning that came to say, hey, I use one company for my cleaning services, and I just want to work with a Black owned business. So the fact that we're going to be keeping our money, you know, within our people, that means so much. And the process was seamless. Like, and I actually went on there and I told all my friends, I told all the other entrepreneurs, I'm like, hey, we got to get on here. We got to be on here because people are looking for us. You know how many people go on places and literally are just looking for Black businesses, but they don't know. I have other certifications, but this is going to be the one that I cherish the most. You know, being a Black entrepreneur means so much, and it's a thing, and it's so cool. It means a lot to me. So I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. And so go, please, Ron.
I mean, the only thing I'll say is you know, it really is super humbling for us because, you know, for us, you know, we started this, as we said, hey, look, we want to do this completely from the ground up. You know, we're going to hire Black engineers, hire Black designers. You know, before there was a tool to find Black folks, we had to go out and say, like, you know, our lawyers are Black, you know, our consultants are Black, you know, all the folks that we use are Black, and we want to say, like, what does it mean to recognize how hard this is, and what does it mean to try to make it easier for other folks? And so, you know, we really believe in, you know, diversifying supply chains. We also really mean, you know, it's not enough to just go use a cookie cutter solution for this, right? There are tons of places where you can make a directory app and throw something up there. But what does it mean to really say, hey, look, from the ground up, every part of this, both the bugs and the best parts you love about it are, you know, because Black folks are doing this for each other, I think is, you know, really indicative of the kind of intentionality we're trying to have here.
Absolutely. I'm seeing some likes, some claps. I see the people are feeling your testimony. That's great. So I think now it's time to actually show you our platform. So in a separate window browser, please type in www.byblack.us/sign up. It should take you straight to the landing page. And follow step by step. Please feel free to jump in, ask any questions if you're having any issues. We're here to help you troubleshoot them. So without further ado, Ron, take it away.
All right, so now, you know, they really hyped it up. So now it's like, oh, this has got to be the most amazing thing ever, what I'm about to show y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and just say, hey, look, we're, you know, whatever you're going through, please, you know, let us know. But we're excited to kind of just, you know, share, talk through some of this. We'll talk about, and I do want to just clarify two things, and I think we talked about this a little bit internally. There is a certification that we are just launching, and you all are some of the first people to see this. And there's also an onboarding, which we're going to talk about right now, which is a way to actually just get listed directly on our search experience. And so we'll talk a little bit about the differences as well, kind of at the end of this. But I just want to kind of call out what you should expect as we kind of go forward. So if folks can see my screen, let me know. Great. So this is actually like the homepage right now. You can actually see Black Girl PR is here. You know, you go to their website. So we try to, you know, show love when we get these new businesses and the folks that we really believe in. But, you know, if we were to go into, you know, sign up, we'll actually go ahead and start this. So, you know, you can actually sign in with Google, or you can sign in, you know, actually create an account with us. So I'm going to go ahead and actually make an account here. So, you know, I'm going to Ron B. I'm going to put in an email, ronb@byblack.us. My password is, y'all aren't allowed to know it, but you kind of get the point. So the first thing you'll do is actually make a profile for yourself. So this is a place where, you know, it obviously has my name. So this is actually for you. So this is, we'll in the future be able to have things like your likes and your dislikes or things that you want to be following will all be here as well. So you can add a photo of yourself if you'd like, your current city, so that we can actually in the future be able to direct you and actually know where Black people are that are looking for Black businesses. It actually helps us think about cities that we want to actually roll out into. So if we know that we have a lot of folks in Oakland or in Dallas, we're able to actually really think about that, right? So, we're able to think really clearly that I'm in Oakland, California, and then I'm actually a Black business owner. So I want to begin creating my own business profile today. So I'm going to say yes. And, maybe I'm interested in personal care, nonprofits, real estate, and legal services, because, we all need a lawyer. Just close this down. So then I want to finish this, right? So you can add later, but you can also finish this. So you've obviously now seen what we're looking at. So it said, hi, Ron, you can start your listing right now. So you could either do it later or you can do it right now. And so, you'll either, what we'll need from you is your business name, some contact information, a business type. So, how do we actually categorize your business, and a description. So this is when people click into your actual card, you can give them some information about how, who you are and what it is that you sort of provide and service. So we're going to get started. So what is the name of your business? So the name of my business is Buy Black. And what I think is really nice is, I think we try to really create a personalized experience. So, as we're actually doing this, you're seeing, if I had to put in Black Girl PR or D Harvey, cleaning services, you would see that right here as well. And you can actually then see how it's going to start to actually show up in the listing itself. So this is a preview of your actual card. So, how do people actually buy your products or services? So, some folks only do business online, and we totally understand that, right? You actually are a business that sells products online and it gets to me, versus the instance that I actually have in-person sales. So I have a location that you could come to and purchase those things from me. So I'll say that I'm both online and in store, because, I've got, Buy Black sells merch as well. And we have a store location, you can stop by and visit us. Maybe you also do through other vendors. So you can imagine this as well. Maybe there's an instance where actually, you sell products through other Black businesses or in other stores. And so we want to also be able to clarify, hey, this business has a little bit of a different profile, recognizing, as we talked about, the diverse universe of Black business. So, what's your phone number? So my phone number is going to be 222 or 212 out there in the DMV, 456 and 784, whatever. You get the point. My website is, rw@buyblack.com. And my address is 1234. And we try to use some ways to really make this simpler and easier for you. So Oakland, California, we actually auto-populate that in. If you have a suite number that we need to add in there, maybe it's, apartment or, suite 3 or 2. And then you can actually do your hours. So maybe you're open from 9 to 5 as I am. Maybe you're actually open from 1 to, 11 p.m., something like that. We allow you to sort of add your hours in there, based on all those things and get ready to go. And so, what you can actually also, what I think is kind of cool is what we try to do is start to show you what your business is going to look like in our directory, right? So we know that your name is Buy Black. You're starting to see, where that address is coming in, and we're actually going to show the open now, right? So on that Wednesday, which is today, we're going to show you that you're open from 1 to 11 at a certain time, and then 9 to 5. So demonstrating the kind of value directly to you immediately that we're trying to provide and direct towards you. And so we'll, something like, select your business category. So maybe I'm in entertainment and media. And we're a social media platform. We're a content creator. Maybe that's the best way to phrase this. And we're not a franchise. We only have one of one, super unique. And then all we're going to do is add a photo. So we're going to add a photo in the background. So I'm just going to pick a photo that I'm going to pick our homepage. Put that back there. see it load, and then you can actually see, right, get your business certified as Black owned. That's, our homepage. I'm going to put that as our background. And then I'm going to say, Buy Black is the best place to find Black businesses. And you, once again, I think what we really try to show is you visit your website, all that stuff is all available right there. And I think that's, really exciting. And you can finish it right then and there, and you can actually see how that looks, right? So we've actually created it, set you up, and shown you what your card is going to look like. And so one thing is, and this is just on the publish now piece, it is the case that we will publish it, but we will review and verify all the information. So, we take a few days to actually look through and read it, make sure that this is not a fake business. And that's something that we try to make sure that we do for your sake, and make sure that we try to keep the platform as honest as possible as we're reviewing information. So we'll review things like the website and whatnot to kind of do that. And so this is the search profile. I can also go to my account settings and my business information and actually change things as well. So maybe it's the case that I needed to update it to a different address, or I needed to change my hours to a certain time. We can do that and see that changes, right? So now it's closed because here in California it is 2 p.m. or something like that. We no longer accept that. So, but you can change your category as well, your business presence, so you can add your description. And we also are starting to add some logistical information about average annualized revenue or number of employees, and even how long your business has been open, so that we can actually provide more perspective on who you are. But all that stuff can be updated. You just want to save it here, and we will actually then make that reflect into your actual card itself. So I think that those are the big pieces. Once again, I do want to call out as well that just because you've gone through this does not mean that you are actually going to be on the search profile yet. We will make sure that we read through it and then send you an email after we've gone through it, go ahead and sort of vetted all the information that's appropriately provided. And then you'll be just like any of the other folks that are here. So I'll stop sharing my screen. I'm not sure if there were questions or things that I can provide clarification around, but hopefully you see how fast that was. And I'm sure other folks that have already done this can speak to that as well.
Yeah, Ron, we do have some questions coming in. This question came from Miss Vanessa Hall. What if you sell only online? Is there a way to disable the hours because it's not applicable?
Yes. So, and that's something we'll probably be rolling out next 2 weeks. But what you'll actually do is we have, and I'll actually share my screen for a small second to sort of show the difference between the two. Well, I'll just start directly from here. So, so if you were on here, and you were on here already, so you'd go to search, and let's say we've gone ahead and sent you an email and said, yes, we're ready to go. And let's say I looked for grocery in Oakland, California. So, I might actually see that, or I'm looking for all businesses. If you see this, there's a difference between the businesses that are nearby and online. Some businesses only have online, and so we actually treat them a little differently, recognizing that, you might be looking for businesses that are directly next to you. If I'm looking for a grocery store, in that instance, I might only want, businesses that are nearby. And then we might not have a ton of, grocery stores, in that direction. But we also have businesses that sell or send, food to you. So maybe it's like a box delivery. And so they might only actually sell or have products that go directly to you. So some of these actually would, and some of these wouldn't. And we will actually differentiate the two in your online versus your in-store.
Right. Ms. Vanessa, hopefully that answered the question. Feel free to pin me if you still need some assistance. Our next question came from Miss Andrea. She says, my business is as an online service, and I think of it as a global corporation. Is there any way that this can show up in multiple location searches? She's based out of New York, but she does work anywhere in the world.
So what we will do, probably you should expect in the next 2 weeks, is any business that is online. So we'll actually differentiate the two. Is we'll actually be able to show if you have a service anywhere that, if you look for that differentiation, as we talked about, that online versus in-store, we will surface businesses that are actually there, wherever they are, because your service can be provided, whether it's consulting services or you could ship something to somebody. We think that's a difference, and the reason why not all business is local. And I think as you spoke to it, it is global. And so what you should see, and I think there's a really great indication of that need for that, is we're already kind of there, but we recognize there's a need to sort of expand that out and provide that value prop.
Okay, another similar question. Are there any semi-custom options for targeting alternative geographics, maybe in other countries, Africa, Canada, not specifically just local and regional?
I mean, so besides the United States, we haven't expanded outside of the US. Maybe it's, I think what is great is when you're talking about being able to use a platform that's sponsored by the United States Black Chamber, they do have relationships and chambers across the world. So I think as we start to look at, hey, we recognize that we have a chamber in Morocco, what does it mean to actually be able to support and provide value props to them is something that we are looking at, but it's not currently something that we have looked for providing, location targeting outside of the States yet.
Okay. Oh, somebody said understood. Thank you for answering. Sure, that's what we're here for.
And if I could just say that, I think what is really helpful is you have a direct line to us. So, right, like whether it's Alicia or myself, like we love hearing feedback. We love hearing from folks and telling us, hey, this doesn't work, or hey, I need this. And it really helps drive direction for us because we never want to be in an echo chamber. And because we're building it ourselves, we can really be thoughtful about what you need.
Absolutely. And similar to DaJuan, this question comes from Dr. Kathy. She has multiple businesses, multiple strands of revenue. Is there a way for it to sync to one login, or does all of her businesses have to have separate accounts?
So this is actually one of our most sort of pressing things that we're sort of developing like now. At this stage right now, I'd say the best thing that we can provide is, make multiple accounts with, multiple businesses, and we will, manage those accordingly. And what we can actually do is, you let us know, or, we can even reach out once we see that we have the same names that are owned by the same person. We'll actually email you and let you know that that is available to sort of actually bring them all into one.
Great. I think that'll definitely be helpful for those who maybe have businesses in different regions. That's something you definitely want to look out for. Another question came in. Do you know offhand the dimensions of the logo or photo you're able to upload to your card?
What we can do is, I don't have them offhand, but what we can do is actually we can probably send an email as a follow-up on some of these questions that we may not get to at this point in time. And I can send like, hey, here are the dimensions for the photos. Here's the sizing that you should do. And so that can provide, some little more clarification for folks. Because it is sort of two different images, right? There's this one that you kind of get on the side and then it kind of expands out. So I'll provide some follow-ups there.
This question came from Mr. Phillip. He says, great platform. It captures everything consumers need to make informed purchasing decisions. Will the Buy Black badge or icon be applied to the image itself? And can they use this on external sites? So if they would like to use our badge on their personal website or signature lines, will any type of icon
if you'd like
be available?
I think it's really, what we're really excited about is having champions of this, right? So, it's only as good as the people that use it and believe in it. And I think you've gotten a chance to hear from people that already, do support and believe in what we're doing and where we're trying to go. So I recommend, I would encourage and love to have folks do that. And we'd love to have folks, tell people about us and add it to their bylines, add it to their email, however you'd like to do that. I think what's really exciting though as well is for all the businesses that are here, and we can talk about this coming up, is the certification piece, being able to say, hey, look, I'm a certified Black-owned business. You can, put this badge on here and say, look, I'm not just on, you can find me on Buy Black, which, will definitely be available. But you know what, here as well, I'm a certified Black-owned business. We are not the same, right? I've actually done a little bit of work. I've let you know that, I've added some information about myself, and hopefully that as well can be a differentiating factor when you're going out and looking for opportunities.
Yep, absolutely. See a couple more questions. This question came from Miss Crystal. Essentially, is this Buy Black platform for any and all businesses? I assume she is an author and would like to know, how would she set up her profile if she's, an author, a book writer, anything of that nature?
So, I think the question would be, we often think about this is, do you sell products yourself? And so if not, it might be the case that we do have the facet where it's through other vendors. So let's say if you were at a Black-owned bookstore, or maybe you were at a I don't know what the books, maybe you sell it through other vendors like a Nobles. What's a Barnes and Nobles? Yeah, right. Like, if you sold at Barnes and Nobles, that might be a thing that we have that ability. So we had 4 options, right? Online, in person, contracts and bids, and through other vendors. So you might be through other vendors, or you sell at other places, or you might have your own website where you actually sell those. And so maybe we'd call that more of an online business. So I think that is the point, is that we try to be really thoughtful about that. I'm not exactly sure if we have author as one of the categories, but that's something that we should definitely provide. And we're looking at to bring in like some actual tags for businesses, so we can differentiate between, just, hey, this is an author of self-help books versus an author for science books or something like that.
Okay. We'll take a couple more questions on the onboarding. We'll get into certifications in a second. So thank you all for your patience. Is the platform specifically for B2B or through the whole supply chain from A to C?
So I saw Denise Koch's email or message, and I do want to say we will send you an email when we've actually gone through and looked at all the information. So Ms. Koch, I will actually follow up personally and check to see what happened with your application. So that is the beauty, is you get directly a direct line. On the question around what was the question that just recently asked you Alicia?
How do you see this platform being used for folks who are looking for specific A to B or B2B or B2C?
Yes. So on the for the B2C, for business to consumer, right? I want to sell to my hair supplies to somebody. I think this currently, as it stands, does that. For that part on the enterprise level, when you're like, hey, I'm a business that wants to actually get a cleaning service. I'm a cleaning service that wants to sell to a big company that has a ton of buildings. I want those contracts. What we're actually doing is working with some of our largest partners. So if you can imagine, the AT&Ts of the world, et cetera, that we're working with, to say, hey, look, we want you to accept this certification as a standard, and say, look, everyone says they want to diversify their supply chain. Everyone says they want to be able to buy Black as not only as people, but as companies. And we're saying, okay, well, you actually don't have as many excuses as you used to, because if someone comes through, has a free certification to go ahead and do this, they should actually be taking this and go ahead and using that as an incentive. And if not, you can also reach out to the USBC and say, look, I want to be able to get this contract with XYZ. I have the certification. Are there opportunities that you know of? And I think as we talk about the certification portal, we could talk a little bit about opportunities that really should hopefully lend towards the B2B side.
All right, thanks for answering those, Ron. I know it's like a shotgun. I do see one more question we'll take from Mr. Jamez Johnson. How long does the approval process for onboarding usually take? And do we have kind of a premium listing?
We don't have a premium listing for the real reason right now today, because we really don't want to charge folks insofar as, we don't think that, maybe as a nonprofit organization, maybe as an organization that really wants to provide as much value to everybody, the model today is just make it as accessible to everybody. I think there are opportunities maybe in the future to provide, premium listings and different things. The premium listing today really is going to get certified. So, we have that as an action statement, and said, once again, that is also available and for free. Saying, hey, look, I've provided some specific articles of incorporation or some documents to, feel confident in. That is the way that we can kind of, get this, provide you a little extra value prop beyond just being on here.
Yeah, and I'd also like to say, I'm seeing some questions come into just me personally. One is on marketing. Yes, please encourage your fellow businesses, mom, dad, uncle, brother, any of your confidants that are working with you to buy Black, onboard your business, and certify their business. All of the work we're doing is kind of helping to create organic trends, but nothing works more than a single-handed referral. So yes, please, please, please share, retweet us. We're soon to have hopefully a specific social media page tailored to Buy Black, so that's soon come. And I'd also like to say, as our businesses are growing and evolving and pivoting, so is Buy Black. So your experience now may not necessarily be, the same experience you're going to have further down the line. We are working to always streamline, to perfect, and to really make it as intuitive as possible and as easy as possible for you all to join our network. So let me see, are there any other questions? Oh, no problem, Sherry. And so now, Tiandra, if we could bring our slide deck back up and we can talk about certification.
Yeah, I think and I actually really want to ask Alicia to give her perspective as well on this. But for me, when we talked about what does it mean to be certified, I think we had sort of two anxieties in the world. One is it's too laborious, or it's too and when I said that, I mean they have site visits. They show up to your location. They test you on the information that hey, I own this business. They make you prove that you own your business. They might even ask you to provide the birth certificate to a dead grandparent to show that you're actually, that it says Negro or colored onto it. They ask for years of tax documents just to kind of prove that, you are a Black-owned business, you are who you say you are. And we thought that that's just not necessarily something that, has the right, that doesn't scale, that doesn't provide the kind of timeline that folks want to have. The fact that we can do this, in a matter of days, looking through your information, reading the documents you provided us, and get you certified is something that just doesn't exist for folks that need to provide, multiple affidavits, have, folks sign tons of documents and pay hundreds of dollars in every state that they operate in to get certified. And we felt like that was just not fair to Black businesses that want the access and want that kind of confidence. We will sign with them. We want to actually be able to provide more ease of access and opportunity. But I mean, Alicia, I know you've worked in the certification space in the past, so you might even have your own perspective on, what's kind of about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Back in the days of my consulting days, I would help in supplier diversity, specifically for state and local. I'm in Washington, D.C., so I specialized in every local and federal certification within the Baltimore, Washington, Maryland, Virginia area. And the most common question I would get is just simply, why are small business certifications important? Why is it needed to have a minority certification? And my answer is, well, definitely now with COVID on the rise, the pandemic is slowly, it's been affecting Black-owned businesses, it's been affecting minorities. And we're starting to see now that everything is in a digital climate. And in an already competitive market, federal, state and local certifications really allow for small businesses to grow. They help set your company apart from everyone else in the marketplace. If you are looking into procurement with the federal government, which is the biggest buyer in the US, it helps to establish credibility when pursuing contract opportunities. It also helps you increase access to government contracting opportunities. If they are contracting through the SBA or through independent procurement authorities, so such as your Department of Transportation's, WMATA's, any of your larger certifying agencies, they really help in set-asides. Agencies are forced to mandate some set-asides and substantial number of contracts to minorities. The ability to subcontract on large projects, whether you're looking to sub or prime or pursue any mentor protege programs, it's definitely especially important. And I will say that, the difference between what other directory or certification you may have that the SBA recognizes, there are none specifically for Black businesses. Our president, Ron Busby Sr., he is always talking about waking up Black, showering, you're still Black, going to sleep, you are still Black. And so it's not fair that we kind of just get joined in to this minority pool. So what does it mean to buy Black? I think, Ron, you hit it on the head. Being Black is more than just, a color. It is a community. It is a way of life. It is a being. So I think that in certifying your business, one for free, really helps within your industry. And we are working to get our larger organizations to honor our certification.
Yeah. If you can imagine a world where, some of our largest corporate partners, banks, tech partners are saying, hey, look, I want to be able to get, if I had a catering business, them being able to say, look, I want to buy Black and I want to spend, $1 billion with Black businesses. I actually need to be really thoughtful. I need to work with Black construction companies. I need to work with, Black, catering companies. I need to work with, Black electricians, all that. But saying, hey, look, you know what? Here is a list of thousands of businesses that have done that little bit of due diligence, move the needle on that, and we've actually been able to say, look, they're available to you at a way that's at no cost to them. Because once again, it costs hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars to get certified. And we're saying this is free, this is available. And hopefully it actually does open up opportunities for us to push our corporate partners to spend more money with you all, because we have that kind of Rolodex of businesses that are truly certified. There are tons of directories out there, but anybody can be on there. And I think that's the real danger. Buying Black today is really cool and it sounds nice and it sounds hot. The reality is there are folks that are taking advantage of that opportunity and that are not Black. And so, and we can send you the research, we can send you the articles. That is really concerning to us. And how do we actually weed those out? How do we not just have a directory full of nonsense? Is by saying some of these folks here have actually done the work, and we know confidently that they actually stand by who they are and what they have to offer.
Absolutely.
I guess we can talk right through the actual certification itself and provide some example of what that experience looks like.
Yeah, Tiandra, next slide, please.
Yeah, so I think, just for clarification, we think about certification in 3 buckets. One is your proof of ownership, your proof of control, and your proof of identity. So for your proof of ownership, you can imagine a world where we're saying we need things like your articles of incorporation, your utility bill, or an employer ID number, things that have your name and have your business's name on it. So let's say if you're, recognizing that, different businesses have different ways of actually documenting their ownership. Articles of incorporation is something we have to have, and I think we're happy to give you some ways to go ahead and make them yourself. But an employer ID number, a business utility bill, what this says is, hey, look, I have a business. Here is some information about that. Here's the location that it actually stands in. You can feel confident that my name is on that bill. My business's name is on that bill. This is the location that we operate out of. Here are ways that we can actually start to get a sense of you properly being the person that you say you are. Proof of control, something like, a loan document, a copy of a lease. So you actually are the person who's responsible for that business. If we're talking about DaJuan, he understands what it means to clean a building, right? He understands what it means to help move folks from that. And so we say, if you have a copy of a lease, if you have bank statements, if you are financially responsible for this business, that demonstrates your own connection that is deeper than just being some sort of like face on a thing. If you could write a check, we have the ability for you to provide a voided check, right? That demonstrates, hey, look, I have financial or fiduciary responsibility in this business that demonstrates beyond just, once again, being somebody who happens to work there. Or something like, proof of identity. So, we allow you to provide, something like your membership in a chamber of commerce, your photo ID. We match that to a photo of you. So we use some biometrics to actually try to match up all the documents that you provided to make sure that your name, matches who you are, etc. I think all those are really great examples of, the value prop that we hope to provide to folks. And make it easy for you to do this. So, recognizing that you might have this document and you might not have this document, you have this document, but not this. We really want to create like a collage of who you are and what information you have to make that kind of easy for you to provide and get certification. In any other situation, you'd have to provide every single one of these documents and then 10 others to be able to even, start the conversation.
I was getting ready to touch that as well. If you are woman-owned, if you are, a certified business enterprise, CBE, MBE, minority business enterprise, you will know that you are asked to provide 20 something on other documentations. Everything from simple articles of incorporation to business license to minutes from board meetings, you name it. So we really took time to think about what it is we need from you to certify your ownership, what specific needs we need for you to provide your proof of control and identity. So we're passing by all of the tedious, time-consuming, heavy label work, and we really tried to streamline this so it's easy as possible.
If I can actually speak directly to Kelly, I see that she said that she doesn't feel as though the model really extends to sole proprietors. What I'll say is, let's go ahead and look at the actual sort of flow. We can call out some examples of, where are some different documents that we have available itself. And when we get there, you're welcome to, provide your perspective of, as a sole proprietor, maybe you can, message me directly. We can talk about, hey, look, what are some things that either we can use that we currently have available and what you can provide to us, and what we can ultimately do to kind of make this even more valuable for other folks that may not necessarily fit our generic model. Because we really tried to be as expansive as possible, but that doesn't mean we can't be bigger in terms of our scope. But if you've got your articles of incorporation, your EIN, and one of 6 other documents, we're really, 7 other documents actually, we'll try to provide you that certification accordingly. So I guess I can share my screen. Is it me? Is it my?
Yeah.
All right.
So everybody that's still with us, we are getting ready to show you what the certification process looks like. Again, after you are approved and you're onboarding, you will get a PIN and a note to move forward in your certification process.
And feel free to ask questions as it goes. And I definitely want to make sure that I'm, providing that perspective. But so this is our certification portal. So you go to certification.byblack.us and you'll see, what we're trying to provide here, provide some clarity on things that you will need to sort of move forward, a few FAQs, and you can actually get in touch with us directly if you want to follow up on some things. So if we're trying to register, which is, I think, what everyone's trying to do here, you can actually create an account. So, and, a password and register, right? So we're going to go ahead and go through a checklist, right? So you can always, I think this is an important thing to consider, is you can leave at any point in time and come back and we'll save where you are in the flow. So, there's no reason to get too worried. As we said, right, we try to really personalize this experience. So, we asked, hey Ron, let's get started. Let's try to kind of get some of these pieces of information. So we estimated it's about 15 to 30 minutes. But so we asked something like, are you a 51%? Do you own 51% of your business as a Black person? So the answer might be yes. Do you have any minority business certifications? So maybe you already actually have worked with Alicia before, and you have a certification in New Jersey with the Department of Transportation. We will actually accept that here as well, because we don't believe in you having to make 5 or 6 other certifications or add this one on top of that. We really want to honor that, recognizing that you've done a lot of the work ahead of time to go get certified. And so we want to honor that on top of this as an additive value prop. So, we don't want to add more work. So for folks that haven't, we'll say no. And we'll say next. Are you a member of Black Chamber of Commerce? So maybe you are, and that actually helps us direct and get more clarification as you get certified. Like, hey, we can actually reach out to Kathy Adams in the Oakland Black Chamber of Commerce or the Oakland African American Chamber of Commerce and get some insight around, hey, is this a Black business? Can she vouch? Can that provide us, some confidence there? But, we recognize that everybody has a Chamber of Commerce relationship, and that's fine. So we'll say no. But recognize that we do have different flows for different folks. So different, users will have different experiences based on what information they have provided. So as we were talking about, there are different documents that you can provide that will hopefully give you a sense of how to manage and handle your certification. So the 2 things that we do need are your articles of incorporation and an EIN. And so both of those things are things that you can get available pretty quickly and come back to the certification later if you don't have it. So, if you don't have those, you can actually, finish that. You can stop here and we'll actually follow up. You can actually come back to the certification at any point in time once you have these 2 documents. So, you must be able to provide one of the following pieces of information. Well, as we talked about, a voided check. So this just has the name of your business and your business bank account, right? Your bank account and you as the actual, fiduciary holder of that, you can actually provide that here. a receipt or a copy of a loan if you have a loan for that business, maybe a copy of a lease for commercial space. So maybe you actually have a location that you do business out of that we can speak to. A bank statement, once again, that is different from the voided check, but it shows that you are, you have business, your business has a bank account, trying to sort of provide that loan, that lens. And so, more banking examples, but also a good standing document. So this is supplied by your state itself. So it will say, hey, look, I am, this business, I operate in this state, I am, currently registered and appropriately, I'm appropriately in good standing with that state itself, that you're registered. And so that's something that you can sort of do. If you don't have any of these documents, you can come back at any point in time and start the certification and fill out the other information that's available. So I'll say that I have a copy of a lease because, Buy Black is really coming up. So are you a member of our Black Chamber of Commerce? No, sorry. Do you have my, no? Oh, yeah. So sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Are you? Yes. No. No. I do have this, and I have that copy of a lease, or yeah, and I'm gonna say next. So we're gonna get started. So we get started. You provide, the business name, which is gonna be Buy Black, and this will match what I put in, the previous. We operate, maybe it's, Buy Black Inc. And I operate as Buy Black or something like that. And that's fine. The type of location, so maybe it's a home office, as we talked about. I think Kelly had spoken to, right? Like we try to understand exactly like what kind of businesses it is. So maybe a virtual office, a home office, a co-working space, a rental, a leased, space. So that home office, and so maybe I, put in, I'm here in Emeryville, California, and do you sell products out of, this location? And let's say that I do not, but maybe that's in a situation you might. That phone number, then we're going to try to make sure it matches across. What is the website? You could have one or not. Some businesses don't. We really try to be thoughtful of the fact that we want to encourage folks to have one, but it's not mandatory. It helps us move the process along faster. Your business itself. So we want to know a little bit about your business itself. So this is going to help us understand things around that proof of ownership and who are the registered owners. So Ron, I am the Black business owner. My name is Ron Busby Jr. And I have 45% of the company. And then I'm going to add another owner, right? Because it's not just me. So Alicia also owns a part of the company. She's also Black, and she has 55%. So she actually adds up. And so what we're showing is that we want to make sure this adds up to 100%. So we just don't want to have any sort of open questions there. So if there are multiple owners in your company, maybe it's you and your grandparents or you and your mom, make sure that we have all that available here and clarified. In business category, so we actually are using your NAICS code. So maybe you're actually farming. So maybe it's a farming business. You do it by your number, or you could also do it by the actual type of thing. So maybe it's hair as well. So hair sprays, and then maybe it's we got everything. So if you know your NAICS codes, we'll probably try to have it here for you. And so you can add as many that apply to you. Barbershop, etc. And so, description might be something like, once again, Buy Black is the best place to find businesses.
Yeah. And for any, I just will say, if any of, we have some seasoned business owners, that is just a quick copy and paste of your executive summary. Yeah. It could be, your elevator pitch, just something so folks can get to understand your business.
Exactly. And so we've actually also tried to make sure that, if you have a capabilities deck or capabilities document, so a statement of your work that you do, you can also add that here as well if that wants to help us get better perspective on some of those things that you are best equipped to do. But yes, this could be pulled from your About Us on your website. This could be something that you already have in a document. You can add as much information as going to help us understand who you are as we're reviewing that. Are you a member of ownership?
I did see one question. I did see one question about that. Hopefully that addresses, no, you do not need to be a member of your local chamber or an affiliate of US Black Chambers.
No, and I think, hopefully this may encourage or give you the ability to know, who your Chamber of Commerce is and, the opportunities that they provide locally. But, and what we will also do is to make sure that, that you all are having the ability to have those connections if that is something you're interested in. So we want to be able to get you connected if that's helpful, but you don't need that. That's not a prerequisite to being able to get value from this. So your articles of incorporation. So, you just want to be able to, pull this in. So if you have it available, if you have it on your desktop, if you have it on your, downloaded, you just pull it in, you upload it. We will, take that and use it accordingly, and we'll read it. So make sure that everything's legible there. If it's multiple pages, we'll read, we'll read all of it to make sure that it makes sense. But, please try to include that. If you don't know which articles of incorporation are, if you don't know what that even means, we try to also provide some links in the actual certification. So if you need to leave, create some, or, etc., we want to make sure that we provide you the context to go ahead and start that process. Proof of control. So, please provide an EIN. So this is something that it's an IRS provided number. It's a 9-digit number. So you'll have that. You'll input that here, and we can use that just to sort of check that name on that EIN matches the name of the person applying or one of the owners that says they have majority stake in the company. So making sure that those things actually sort of add up. And so I have a copy of a lease. And so I'm going to go ahead and add that as well. As we said, right? We said, okay, what are the documents you're going to provide? Go ahead and put in that copy of a lease to that. And we'll go ahead and go to the proof of identity. So this section, actually you'll need a few things, or just one thing. So you're actually going to do this thing called, you're going to kind of verify your information. So I don't necessarily, so we don't necessarily have to show you exactly, my face and my address, but how it kind of works is you'll go ahead and start, you'll accept the terms and conditions. It'll take a picture of your face.
Up close and personal today.
I know. But so, hopefully it's that quick. If you end up having an issue, it will actually go to mobile. So it'll go to your phone. And so you can include a passport or a driver's license, either or. And so, if you were to do that, you can go ahead and do that. And the last step is to actually add a, I actually need to go get my license, but I will stop sharing my screen and go ahead and do that part and show you guys at least what the dashboard looks like once you've completed those two pieces. So if you give me 2 seconds, I'll go ahead and handle that.
Yeah, so I'll take this opportunity. I did see some more questions come in. If you are the only business owner, do you have to be 51%? Yes. So we follow our regular SBA regulations. If you are a owner and you have more than a 51% ownership in your company, that works. If you have multiple owners or co-owners that all have stake and percentage ownership in your company that are not Black, please also report that as well, as long as the sum equals 100% and you have more than 51% in together at ownership of a Black owned. Okay, great. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, and so I just got my my info, so I'll share my screen again. But so if you submitted your verification, so I submitted my my passport, my license, whatever. So we've actually done that. And so we'll go ahead and go to the next step. And so if you saw, Ron Busby is, the person that's filling this out. So I'm going to go ahead and, if this affidavit simply says that you are the Black business owner. So you are the person who is actually supposed to own this business, that you actually, everything that you have put here is accurate. So you have done this in good faith as a Black business owner. So you just sign here. So I'm going to sign using my cursor, submit my application. So now you're actually in the reviewer, you're in sort of the portal, you've finished this piece. So what you'll sort of look for in the coming weeks is updates from here in the reviewer center. So if there's a message that you need to send us, hey, I realize that I am missing something, or I want to get some more clarification on what's happening, you can provide messages here, and we'll actually be able to add those to your application as we go forward. And so, yeah, so, where application has been submitted, someone will actually review it. And as we actually review it, you'll see that change there. And we'll send you emails as well as this is happening. So you don't have to worry about necessarily when is it happening, as much as we'll keep you up to date as the process is moving forward. And so hopefully that will help you understand. And you can actually see, your application, et cetera, as it moves forward. So if there are things that we need you to actually change or shift, so maybe you need to actually provide a different EIN, maybe you typed in the wrong thing, or maybe you need to provide a different document, we'll actually be able to open this back up and allow you to provide the appropriate information accordingly. So that is everything. You can actually download the affidavit if you want for your own, records. If that's something that's valuable to you, you have that available. And once again, we'll actually send emails throughout the process so that hey, look, someone's reviewing it. We're almost done. Here are some things we need from you. So I'll log out now, but this is what the experience looks like today. Hopefully you see, obviously we talked a bit much throughout it, but I hope it indicates the kind of thoughtfulness we've tried to have around getting the information that we need to make a good review, and then hopefully making you feel as confident that your information is being thoughtfully considered and reviewed, and then hopefully certified accordingly.
All right, Juan, one last question for you. This question came from Chris. He is in the technology industry, so he finds this particularly important. If you could briefly tell us what cybersecurity infrastructure or protocols are listed on the site, or that we use to make sure that sensitive information and personal information are safeguarded.
Yeah, I mean, so I think the big part is that we don't pass this from one database to another. So it all is encrypted on one database. So the experience is isolated. We provide some cryptographic work that is protecting the information that's happening there. And as well, we can actually provide you a document that sort of goes into a little more detail of what sort of handshake keys that we provide, who has access to it at all times. And it's actually, once again, the USBC and its reviewers that we've actually vetted to make sure that that information is it's a small group of people that have actually been all background checked, that actually then we know exactly who is reviewing each document. So in the instance that we need to know, hey, who saw Chris's application, we know exactly who saw it, when they saw it, and we're able to trace back exactly to any issues that might be happening around that data and information.
All right. Okay. Thank you for that, Ron. You've been great, a wealth of knowledge and information. And again, on behalf of USBC and the team, we really do thank your team for your innovativeness and really helping to push our Black businesses forward. And I know we're running low on time, so I will quickly breeze through the second part of this. I just want to let you know what's coming up next. We do have some opportunities brought to you by USBC's CEDC, which again is our Community Economic Development Corporation. It is our nonprofit side of the house. So we are working with Google in their Black-owned attributes, similar to our Buy Black attribute in badge. Google offers you to add this attribute to your My Business profile. It is very easy to use. You could just visit www.grow.google/back-owned to list this attribute on your profile. It is free. As DaJuan mentioned, we are seeing a huge number of people simply searching for Black businesses near them. And so using this tool, Google Analytics will actually pre-populate you first before your larger corporations. Next, Tiandra. Now we have our Grow with Google free training. So we are a service provider and partner within our Grow with Google training. It is free small business training, everything from project management to scaling your business to IT support. We got you covered. So you can visit us on www.usblackchambers.org/grow-with-Google. Or visit us on our webinars page. We do have February schedule up and posted. They are active. We do have our next session actually tomorrow. And they're all facilitated by a Grow with Google coach. So he is specifically designed to help our businesses pivot and thrive. So if you haven't already, I know we just went over it, but please, please, please encourage your friends and family to register with Buy Black. Again, our certification will be launching soon. You can definitely start the process now, but we would definitely appreciate your support. And if you haven't done so already, we are partner Chase for businesses is offering consultations free of charge and support in submitting your PPP application. So you can visit www.chase.com/PPP for all your need to know information and how to move forward with them. Advancing Black entrepreneurs, essentially backed by popular demand. These are as 2-module, 90-minute financial education seminars, really designed to help Black businesses grow and scale their businesses. Our next session is the last week of February on the 23rd at 2 p.m. It is co-facilitated by Shay Taylor, and he is one of our senior analysts over at JPMorgan Chase. They are also available online, next slide, at www.usblackchambers.org/webinars. Everything that we do from a trainings perspective is always recorded and posted on our website and YouTube channel. So if you want to double back and watch on demand at your own leisure, we have those trainings available for you as well. And so here's a quick look of what's upcoming next. Like I said, we do have Create and Deliver Compelling Presentations Part 2 with Johnny Bailey and friends tomorrow at 5 p.m. If you need some more support in submitting your PPP application, register for our webinar coming up on February 16th. And we do have our Black History Month event, so make sure to register, save the date. It is completely free on February 24th. And so if you need any support at all, whether it's CARES Act related, PPP, COVID related, if you would like to get connected to your local chamber or anything of that nature, please feel free to email us at programs.usblackchambers.org and visit us on the website at www.usblackchambers.org/CARES Act. You will receive a follow-up email at the end of this session with all of this information. And again, we just thank you all so much for participating with us. Thank you, DaJuan and Nantale, for sharing your testimony. And Ron, as always, for being, unapologetically Black. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again.